Way. Pellegrino. Way. Pour it up quickly like I'm Nino. Slaves. Am I my brother's keeper? Bullets enough motherfucking band carry. New Jack City, nigga with the sweeper. Get out, yo. Broad daylight, like Keisha. All my niggas feel like, goddamn, he's a teacher. Slay. More like a philosopher. KRS1 in the flesh. Slade. I gotcha. Slade. Do you need to be bending, folded up? Chiropractor. All my niggas like boom shakalaka. But don't laugh, ain't no laughter in the hit locker. Taka vodka. Super soccer when jam when we begin. Leave a clef in his chair, split his wig quick. Blocker. Fuck him off, homie, cause we so sick. Bitches eating dick. They on the corner with the paint that I inflict. I don't know ya. I'm sipping over cane with this. Who don't know I'm in a twist? You don't know, but I know judo.
Voila! It's your brother John Mack in the building, aka Mindbender. Doing it live here on Metro 360 News and Entertainment with some more of that good old-fashioned Charlie Kirk fatigue that I know y'all been getting dragged through all week. However, I have an interesting take on the young man, Charlie Kirk, being shot, and the alleged assailant who shot him, Tyler Robinson. As you see here in the depiction, you know, I got him walking over here with Serena, but really it's a symbolization of what he managed to accomplish in a pair of Chuck Taylors, as opposed to the great Bill Russell, who won 11 championships and 5 MVPs in the Canvas Delights, aka the All-Star Converse Chuck Taylor. Peace.
Credit, we had no new wars for 4 years.
Well, again, there was the Turkish-Kurdish war. What was the new war caused by the Biden-Harris administration?
Yo, why does Charlie Kirk always do that?
Putin invading Ukraine.
Caused by the Biden-Harris administration. Donald Trump believed, right, Putin over U.S. intelligence.
Well, honestly, our U.S. intelligence was wrong.
No, it wasn't. Putin lied. Putin said he didn't interfere in the Russian election. That was proven. Tell me why there was global inflation.
As I mentioned, because Western democracies all decided to pursue a deficit spending spree.
Wait, so why did it happen in Asia and Africa and South America, Central America? How did the Biden-Harris administration cause inflation?
The Inflation Reduction Act.
The Inflation Reduction Act didn't cause inflation. It was deficit reducing.
Flooding the zone.
Wait, Trump added more to the debt than Biden-Harris.
That's not true.
8.4 trillion, 4.8 trillion non-COVID related, 4.3 trillion under Biden-Harris, 2.2 trillion non-COVID related. There's higher real median wages right now than there was in 2019, according to the St. Louis Federal Reserve.
You acknowledge people don't have purchasing power because prices are up.
Wait, that real median wages accounts for inflation. Did you know that?
Yeah, but you think people right now have the same purchasing power they did under Donald Trump?
What does real median wages mean? It means accounting for inflation. So wages have gone up accounting for inflation.
Do you know that carbon emissions were the lowest under Donald Trump they've been in human history? They've gone up under Joe Biden.
That's wrong. Wait.
You at least give Trump credit. We had no new wars for 4 years.
Man, you can't make this kind of shit up. What a week we've had after the death of political commentator Charlie Kirk, a young conservative guy who came about the Tea Party about 12 years ago. Now, the reason why we know him is because he says a lot of inflammatory things about black culture, especially being such a young man, 31, with no experience in life, no culture behind him, just young, fiery, political assassinry that makes me cringe often. And, you know, because a man hath passed away due to his inflammatory comments, I'll save my fieriness for another time. But when a guy claps a dude from 250 yards away, scales down the side of a wall with one arm, and jumps 25 feet to the ground, right? I gotta scratch my fucking head. Especially when he does it in some chucks. I mean, you can't make this kind of shit up. It's the kind of shit that make Bill Russell envious. Especially after 11 championships and 5 MVPs in a pair of chucks. I mean, this Tyler Robinson kid is fucking magnificent with chucks on. Converse Nike, whoever, somebody get this man a contract yesterday. Okay? The bottom of his feet is like steel. I mean, I want to know, you know, who got a pair of Chucks with canvas like that? He must have sprayed them with Hodgepodge or something first. He must have epoxied them or something. Because I know for a fact I played one game of basketball in my Chucks and I ripped straight out of them. Only thing was left was shoestrings and a sole. So, this kid right here is definitely a Ninja Gaiden type of nigga. If it wasn't for his pig-ass father turning him in and shit. Yo, because you talk too much, boy. You talk too much. Nigga, you hang out with your boyfriend daily, and then you gonna tell all that information on Discord? Nah, I can't believe it. That's a psyop. It's bullshit. This whole thing is bullshit. And it's made to start aggression and divination, I promise.
And we all, myself included, we all have been sold the biggest con of our entire life. And this is that the problem is left versus right, or Republicans versus Democrats. And that is the distraction fire.
Peep this shit out right here, the AI.
Tyler James Robinson.
This is word for.
See? That's that AI shit I was telling you about. That's the same mouth they had on the PlayStation when the players were talking. It'd be like a dark-ass whole mouth, but it don't really be a mouth. That nigga's face is grainy. Get the fuck out of here. Why would you have grainy footage in jail, man?
And military
all this
science
shit is a lie.
Literally describe how you isolate a target audience, then you pump them full of a bunch of outrage, you create a tribal us versus them identity. This is straight out of a PsyOps textbook. You share more in common. You share more with somebody across the aisle than with a billionaire donor or some media executive pretending to speak for you. Number one is isolation. And this is where you don't just disagree with people anymore. You're told not even to interact with them. You don't have friends on the other side. Don't date them. Don't work with those people. You need to cut them out of your life. That is step one. And if you're paying attention, that's also step one of joining a cult. So step two is echo chambers. You surround yourself only with opinions that sound just like yours. Social media makes damn sure of this, and algorithms serve you more of what already pisses you off. So step three here is the tribal script. This is the us versus them narrative. Your side is righteous, their side is evil. Every single issue is framed like a holy war, and it doesn't matter if it's taxes or healthcare, it's suddenly life or death, and it's good versus evil. That cocktail makes people feel morally justified in hating and silencing and celebrating violence. That is true radicalization, and it's happening on both sides of the imaginary aisle. This is not just some accidental byproduct of politics. This, what we're seeing right here, is engineered step by step to keep you outraged and blind and keep you just kind of stabbing and punching at shadows. All the while, this real power, the people who profit from division, stay completely untouchable. An absolutely brutal truth that nobody really wants to face. Assassinations that, especially like we saw with Charlie Kirk, assassinations are not usually about stopping some kind of evil. They're about stopping ideas. You don't kill somebody because their argument was weak. You silence them because you were terrified that their words are working on people. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. He wasn't murdered because he was irrelevant and he had bad ideas. He was killed because his vision of racial and economic unity and equality was gaining traction in the country. If you look at President Kennedy, JFK, he wasn't taken out because he had no power or had crappy ideas. He was killed right as he started poking holes in this weird, dark system's grip on our war and defense and secrecy. Mr. Rabin, this guy, Rabin, I think, assassinated in Israel. Nobody did it because he was a joke or because he was a laughingstock. He was killed because he was pushing in Israel for peace, and peace threatened power. Peace threatened power. And let me tell you, division is the cheapest, most effective tool ever invented for that. Look at how PSYOPs are described in military doctrine. You identify your target audience, you feed them carefully selected information, and you push their emotion until their behavior changes. This isn't theory. That's written down in black and white. And it's the same exact playbook that's being used on you and me, my family, my parents, all of us. Except this time the battlefield isn't Afghanistan, it's not some country in the Middle East. It is your living room.
Kirby! Kirby! Come on, Kirby! 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 Kirby? Curbster?
What is the answer to that, Charlie? Why?
I mean, it doesn't fit a narrative. This is my most charitable reading. The narrative that they have pushed forward in the last 10 years is that there is a relentless assault against black people on behalf of white people. And the data does not show that. You brilliantly pointed this out in your program yesterday. In fact, it's the exact opposite. White individuals are actually more likely to be attacked, especially even per capita, by black individuals in this country. The narrative that they have tried to force feed this nation post-2020 is that we are a systemically racist country to our core. We started to say the word racist more. We started to redesign our corporations. We started to teach things in our classrooms that were from the 1619 Project. And all of this has now been met with an appropriate backlash where people said, we're actually not nearly as racist as you say we are. In fact, we're the least racist country ever to exist in the history of the world. And in fact, if you want to actually talk about race-focused activity, why is it that you then ignore all the race-focused activity of black on white crime? Will, I want to live in a race-neutral country. I don't like talking about race all the time. But when I see it, and I see the left ignore it, and we try to make them live up to their own standard of rules that they force-fed us during the chaos of 2020, it really goes to show the destruction that this can lead to the entire nation. And the final thing I'll say is this, Will, is that this is more than just a semantic argument. This is more than just whether or not it's a race thing or not. Bad policing practices, consent decrees, opening up the prisons. As you say, $3.3 million is an outgrowth of a media narrative lie. So it's not just an innocent media narrative lie. Real policies get put into place when you don't challenge this nonsense.
Last week,
I got my Charlie Kirk packed in a smoking. Look at the turning points we had you open. Clear your face up, nigga, stop loading. The rhetoric that you say, no floating. Look at the smoke in the air, I'm emoting. All the hate that you spew, you're provoking. I don't give a fuck, motherfucker, you don't know nothing. The chickens come to roost, but it's duck, duck, goose. You hated reparations, but you voted for a noose. And that's why the hot one came from the roof. Fuck Dilla 187 proof, Tupac and Juice. Now we martyred with every racist rant on through. The Turner Diary, the deploy of U.S. race soldier troops. Raise guys and babies, rather hit them with a new ethnic cleansing on who? Netanyahu. God incentivized too. Could've reached across the room with your severed ties, fool. Uneducated devil, deputized who? Congressional medal, but I'm desensitized, fool. Are you mesmerized, but we never terrorized you? Cause you a captain, Kirk with no enterprise, dude. Get a tea bag for a tea party interview. I got my Charlie Kirk packed in a smoking. Hit his ass quick over no blame. Clear your face up, nigga, stop loading. Don't drown and get floating, man. Look at the smoke in the air, I'm emoting. I never seen it at his folks. I don't give a fuck, motherfucker, you don't know nothing. From home, broken back that smoke time. And now they wanna march. Did you tell them no abortion for raising on your daughter? The sins of the parents came straight from the fall. Made bets with your DNA, demon semen bar. Drug overdose mockery, Floyd breathe hard. 13th Amendment, slaves, vagrancy means loyal. Shoulder holster, Second Amendment, no bragging boast. Artillery sprinkled over the table like coast. Mock trans people, but you the real fruit roll. Sex playing motherfuckers, you need to hold up. Slow your roll on that political trolling, no Motorola. High ones hit you tranquil, we watch your throat blow up. Grabbing your apples out, couldn't make the blood slow up. This Erica Kirk, gon' finish your college tour. Betty Shabazz wrote a book, she tried to warn. Taco Bell tried to warn Mexicans run for the border. I got my Charlie Kirk packed in a smoking. Look at the turning points we had you open. Clear your face up, nigga, stop loading. The rhetoric that you say.
Look at the smoke in the air, I'm emoting.